Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, back with another one. So we're gonna go get right into it, okay? I've been coming across some TikToks and a couple of creators, and there's this conversation about the dynamics of the black family and how systematically there have been systemic, calculated, what's the word I'm looking for? There's just been systems put into place to psychologically and systematically break apart the black family. And I want to talk about it a little bit. I'm not going to talk too much about it just because the creators that I'm going to include in this video, they actually kind of explained it a little bit better. So we're going to get right into that, and then I'm going to come back.
I just seen Vogue magazine ask if having a boyfriend is embarrassing today. And niggas will look at me when I say shit like, the government is purposely trying to promote more individualized culture to create more workers to benefit capitalism more. Men versus women is government engineered shit to keep more people. Oh, the more women in the workforce, that benefits capitalism. That doesn't benefit any specific culture or people. It doesn't. So, or let's put it like this: women working is beneficial. Women attempting to compete with their same man does nothing positive for any family dynamic. What about that? Niggas say I'm crazy when I say shit like that. Then you have the women can do anything that they want and they're just as strong as men. You think that shit don't benefit somebody that's controlling who works where? You think that doesn't benefit a governmental entity that's trying to continue to align the pockets of the rich? Who keeps the rich rich? The workers. So the more workers you have, the more beneficial it is to a capitalistic driven society. And niggas will look at you and be like, "Oh, you give the government too much credit." What?
They are monetizing off of the division of black men and women, and we are just letting it happen. If you think about it, a black man being in one household paying rent and a black woman being in a separate household paying rent is a lot more profitable than a black man and a black woman being married, living in one household, and paying one rent or one mortgage. It's no wonder why this day and age we do not have good television shows that promote healthy, strong black marriages. Back in the day, we had The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Cosby Show. Now we have shows like Love and Hip Hop, The Real Housewives, both of which promote negative black interactions, black men and women at each other's throats. I wonder who's benefiting from that. It's not black men. It's not black women.
The only reason being a hoe is socially acceptable now is because the government decided that broken homes are very lucrative these days, okay? So they said, damn the whole idea of like the dad going to work, the mom staying at home, doing the domestic labor, the children growing up to, do fuck all, whatever. They said, listen, if we can convince everyone to somehow become a worker, right? Like you will fuse into the economy all the same, and we can manipulate you out of your social positions, social ideologies, literally everything, right? You will think that competing against a man and a man competing against you is what equality or all of that other good stuff, growth and stuff like that looks like, but it's not, right? Don't think anybody lets anybody get tricked up out of their position for nothing, and don't think the government is doing anything less than that. So with that being said, just know, if it were in the government's best interest for nuclear families to still exist, they would. And the whole campaign of letting women do whatever and like even the LGBTQ, all of that, it would not exist the way we see it now.
I don't know what it is about us as a black community, men and the women. why it is so hard for us to come together and build and create generational wealth for each other, why it's so hard for us to come together and get to know each other better, to get along, to actually work together to build up our own community and our own culture. It seems like it's so difficult for us to do that, and it's unfortunate because I can look around and see other communities of people, other cultures of people, and they're doing it. They're coming together, they're building, they're building businesses, they're creating generational wealth for their families to pass down, for their lineage. They're building a legacy. They're able to work together. They're able to come together and build and to leave something for their children. And we can't seem to do that. All we do back and forth, all we see back and forth is a bunch of he say, she say, a bunch of women, men and women complaining and hollering and screaming about what men don't do, what women don't do, what we ain't tolerating, what we're not accepting, what we're not going to settle for. And it's like, what are we really doing here? We sitting here wasting time while meanwhile the rest of the world is continuing on, and we're like stuck in this continuous loop of just going back and forth, blaming each other, pointing the finger. You did this, you did that, you don't do this, you don't do that, constantly, and we're never coming to a resolution to fix and to get better, to understand each other. And that's the problem. And, I can't, of course it's our issue. It's on us. But also, we haven't even been able to really break down and analyze why is this happening. And a lot of it is happening because the society, the country we live in has systemically promoted certain things to make this happen between us. And we fall for it, all the advertising, the psychological construct that they, the mind games that they play with these commercials and movies and music and everything all that is affecting us. And we can't seem to get past it. And it's really harmful. It's hurting us. We're the least married. The women are the least married. A lot of baby mamas, less wives. A lot of men are not in the homes, not building families. Parents, children aren't being raised with 2-parent households. So you're constantly in a state of survival mode because you got one parent trying to do everything for their children, and it's leaving a traumatic effect for the children. And then you grow up, and it's the cycle just continues because you don't know any better. You don't know what it looks like to have a nuclear family. You don't know what it looks like to have a man and a wife in the home and working together and, fighting against the world and loving each other and building and communicating, loving on each other, supporting each other, encouraging each other when things get wrong, when things go bad, when things go good, celebrating each other. We don't see that. And it's very unfortunate because it's like we're being left behind while everybody else is like they're surpassing us. And I don't know. It's just a really interesting conversation to dig into a little bit. Like I said, it's a lot to really get into, but I'm not going to do that just for the sake of this video. But let me know what y'all think in the comments about this. Have you noticed anything? What would you say is the main cause for us not being able to get along? Why do you think men and the women are such at odds with each other? Like, let me know what your opinions and comments are in the comments. And until next time, I'll be blessed.